Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm helping you level up your communication skills every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome aboard, and be sure to join me for future videos on public speaking, social skills, emotional intelligence, along with other topics to help you build your street smarts. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down two of our former presidents, Barack Obama and Donald Trump's speaking styles. In this video, I'm going to share the basic fundamentals of communication, and then I'm going to show different clips of Obama and Trump to show what they're doing right, why they're moving a certain way during a certain situation, and certain insights that you can learn from these two individuals to apply to your own life. The purpose of this video is not to be political. So if you're one of those people that either hate Obama or you hate Trump or you love both of them, in either situation, you want to leave your biases at the door and evaluate both of these individuals from clear lens. Without clear lens, you will never be able to understand power, persuasion, and clarity. So leave your biases at the door. Let's get started with the basic purpose of communication, which is to transmit a message from point A to point B to generate comprehension. The most important word in this definition is comprehension. You want to do your best to make sure that the other person is understanding what it is that you're saying. This is why those people that use big fancy words that they learned in the SATs simply don't understand the purpose of communicating. They think it's all about the words, but they aren't asking themselves if the other person is understanding. Trump and Obama lead with comprehension, which helps them focus on what matters versus what doesn't. To analyze good communication, for the sake of this video, we're going to be focusing on content, energy, clarity, pacing, and charisma. These are going to be the 5 variables that we're weighing Obama and Trump from to understand whether or not they're communicating well and why they're communicating a certain way. Content. This is all about what is being said, the message. And the message is always going to differ depending on the person that you're speaking to. But since we're speaking about political candidates and presidents in this video, the predominant content is politically motivated, which means that there's certain talking points that these individuals are going to be sharing throughout the video. I want you to get a general feel for the content because you'll notice that what is being said often influences how you're delivering it. The next part is energy. This is whether or not there is passion for the topic. If you look at this little graph right here, you'll see what is extremely important for communication versus what's not as important. Words only make up 7% of this little circle graph, which shows that the words that you use aren't that powerful for getting your message across. But body language and tonality, very important, and Obama and Trump both understand this. They don't use that many words, but their body language and their tonality speaks volumes. So for this clip of Obama, I want you to get a general feel for the energy that he's exhibiting.
2 wars, a planet in peril, the worst financial crisis in a century. Even as we stand here tonight, we know there are brave Americans waking up in the deserts of Iraq and the mountains of Afghanistan to risk their lives for us. There are mothers and fathers who will lie awake after their children fall asleep and wonder how they'll make the mortgage, or pay their doctor's bills, or save enough for their child's college education. There's new energy to harness, new jobs to be created.
So as you can tell, the content of what Obama is talking about is very serious. But you want to just ask yourself, is there passion behind the topic? Does it seem like that he cares? If you were to ask me, yes. And this is a huge insight in itself because typically when we're picturing passion, we may picture someone that's, very flamboyant, over here doing jumping jacks, acting like a clown. But he's showing passion in a very targeted, stern manner, which shows you that energy is there to be controlled. And the content is serious. So if he's over here being extremely energetic and enthusiastic, it's not the right context of energy. So he's doing a very tremendous job of using the right energy for the right situation to match the content that he's delivering. So this is going to be a clip of Donald Trump, and I want you to get a general feel for the energy that he displays in this video.
The sun is pouring down on me, okay? But they said to me before the speech, sir, would you like to salute each cadet, each single cadet, or maybe they'll be in groups of two. Would you like to salute like this? Yes. Like this. Almost 600 times. You know what that is? 600 times!
So you could see something polar opposite from the clip that we saw before. Number one, we want to understand that Trump is discussing a completely different tone of content piece. Where Obama was delivering a very stern piece of content, Trump is talking about something in a more comical fashion. So his intent is different in this situation. He wants to entertain the audience. And the way he's delivering his words is basically to poke fun at someone, which is leading towards a completely different energy level. Where Obama in the first clip was very stern, in this clip, Trump is very, boisterous, very loud. And he's also in a stadium filled with people who want to be entertained. So hopefully you're starting to see that when someone says, oh, well, you have good energy, or you have high energy, or you have low energy, you want to understand that energy in itself has different layers within it. And Obama and Trump showed us this with the first two clips. So the next thing that we want to talk about is clarity. And there's two measurements of whether or not someone is clear with their message. One is, can a 5-year-old understand what this fellow is trying to say? And the second one is, can someone who is not a native speaker understand? We typically are aware of the first one. You've heard the quote, if you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, then you don't understand. But the second one is extremely important, especially in this globalized world that we're living in. In this era, communicating among different cultures is no longer an option. It is a must. Therefore, whoever the president is should be able to communicate to non-native speakers as well. And if they can't, then their message is going to become more diluted. So let's break down Obama in this clip. Let's imagine that you just moved into the US. You know English, but you don't know it super in detail. Can you still understand what he's trying to say?
First, we are Americans first. We're patriots first. We all want what's best for this country.
Short clip, very simple words, the right pauses. Even if I'm not from the US, I understand what he's trying to say. He is extremely clear with his wording. Now let's check out Trump.
First.
Well, thank you very much and good afternoon. As president, my highest and most solemn duty is the defense of our nation and its citizens. Last night, at my direction, the United States military successfully executed a flawless precision strike that killed the #1 terrorist anywhere in the world, Qasem Soleimani. Soleimani was plotting imminent and sinister attacks on American diplomats and military personnel, but we caught him in the act and terminated him. Under my leadership, America's policy is...
So is he being clear? If you were to ask me, yes. But we want to take it even a level further. If you were paying attention a little bit to the content that he was sharing, he's delivering very deep news. He's talking about a terrorist being killed, a military operation. And in moments like this, some people either subconsciously or intentionally make the message way more complicated due to how important the topic is. And this is where other people, let's say the reporters, won't be able to understand. They'll be like, huh? What is this guy saying? Yeah, well, no further follow-up questions because we don't even understand what you said in the first place. That's something that often can happen. But in this situation, despite how deep the context of the situation is, Trump is still able to maintain a very clear delivery. So even though Obama and Trump seem very different in terms of their stances regarding different topics, both leverage simplicity. So think about that when you're thinking about how important clarity serves within communication. This one is pacing, and this is all about whether or not the pace of how you speak is driving under, on, or over the speed limit. Let's say you're driving on the highway. A lot of the times, you may be driving in certain speeds where you're driving for a while and you get a general feel for you driving over the speed limit, and then you look at the speedometer and you're like, oh, whoa, I actually am driving over the speed limit. You got the feel first, and then you backed it up with analytics second. The same thing works with communication. When I'm communicating with someone, I'm not over here counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, I'm not counting every single one of their words. I'm just getting a general feel first, and then I'm getting a feel for whether or not they're speaking too fast, too slow, or just about right. So let's break down this clip of Obama to see his speaking pace.
If you ask me where has been the one area where I feel that I've been most frustrated and most stymied, it is the fact that the United States of America is the one advanced nation on earth in which we do not have sufficient common sense gun safety laws, even in the face of repeated mass killings. And
serious topic, and he's also speaking in an interview format rather than in front of a stadium. All this stuff influences the pacing of how someone's delivering. Now, if you were to ask me, in this particular clip, Obama is following the speed limit to even going a few miles below it. Not plenty of miles below it, but it's a little bit lower, which is completely fine depending on what he's talking about and the settings that he's currently involved in. Let's do Trump now. So just a quick little heads up, this clip has pretty low audio, so if you're already high in volume, you should be good, but if you're not high in volume, you may want to just turn it up a little bit.
This relationship with China
Again, it's very hard for our factories to compete because we spend so much money on air pollution and other things that China doesn't spend, that the cost of our product, among other reasons, especially manipulation of their currencies, but among other reasons, we spend so much money on air pollution and other things that they don't do that it makes our factories very non-competitive in terms of cost.
So in this situation, he's also having a one-on-one interview style. And you could tell the topic that he's speaking about, he has a personal resonance with, like it's very, very important to him. All variables which influence the pacing. Now, if you were to ask me, his pacing is following the speed limit with a little bit over the speed limit, where in Obama's situation, it was a little bit under the speed limit. So this is just a general feel that I'm playing around with in terms of pacing, and you may be getting something different, but just get a general feel rather than getting too specific from the very beginning. So this one is charisma. Is the person warm or cold? And this is something that you need to learn to get a understanding for, because charisma is a huge component of whether or not you're using your words, tonality, and body language correctly. And we're going to break down how Obama and Trump are very different with how they use their charisma. Okay, so this first clip, let's click play.
What would y'all get there?
Water glass. I apologize.
All right. It's the resolution that's only like 100 years old.
So I barely even heard the audio for this one. However, there's a good amount of lessons that you can learn, and we're going to replay this clip so you can see what to look out for. You'll see what makes Obama extremely charismatic in terms of speaking. The first thing, look at his hand right now. Boom, he touches him immediately. And whenever you touch someone, it in a very gentle way, immediately it makes them feel, not only physiologically, but in an emotional way where they feel as though that a rapport is being built. So Obama immediately does that. So once that happens, look at this guy's reaction. Basically anything that Obama says at this point, this guy is going to be resonating with it. Look at him. He's already smiling before anything even went down. Now look at Obama's behavior.
What would y'all get there?
Water glass. I apologize.
All right. It's the resolution that's only like 100 years old.
Look at him. This is the most important thing right here. If you are a good-looking person, or if you have a great smile, use it. Especially whether you're giving a speech, whether you're in a conversation, use it. This is a huge leverage for Obama because his smile will immediately put you at ease. And even this guy's like, man, this guy's presence, Obama's presence, I could feel it, which is charisma 101. So with this clip, you'll see a completely different style of charisma being shown.
And I will say France is a great country, and I believe France will be taken to new heights under this president. He's going to be an outstanding president, one of your great presidents, and it's an honor to call you my friend. Thank you.
A lot of touchy feeling going on. Once again, you could learn so many lessons from this. First, look at what Trump does.
I will say France is a great country, and I believe France will be taken to new heights under this.
A lot of people, when they give a compliment, they're extremely general. Oh, you're a good person. Too general, and it doesn't make the other person feel. While Trump gets extremely specific, not only with content, but he even physically shows the finger of pointing at him to say, this guy is going to be a great president.
He's going to be an outstanding president, one of your great presidents, and it's an honor to call you my friend.
Then he calls him his friend, which is another way to bond someone. If you say someone's name, it makes them feel a certain way. But if you call someone your friend, they're much more likely to do something for you, especially a favor. And then you'll also see it wrapped up with a strong handshake. Not something that's like a weak handshake, but a strong handshake. Once again, how Obama was leveraging the touch in the last video, he leveraged the touch as well, which is another form of charisma. So that was the last clip, and let's just break down a few of the insights that we learned from this video. Content between Obama and Trump is always going to depend just because of their background and the political parties that they represent. But we were able to understand that content is going to influence the delivery. With energy, the clips that we saw from Obama was very stern, mainly depending on the content he was talking about, while a lot of Trump's clips were high energy. And I believe this is just something them with their personalities. They just have different sorts of energy, which is often being displayed. Clarity is what both of them have in common. Both of them are extremely simple in terms of their delivery. They don't get cute with it. They get straight to the point. For pacing, Obama is more towards slow to medium, while Trump is more towards medium to fast. And their charisma is vastly different. One leverages humor a lot. The other leverages their body a lot. One is very mental. One is very physiological. At the end of the day, Both are forms of charisma. So these are just a few insights that you can learn from all over the world, not only with politics, but with movies, with watching games, with analyzing different people. You can always learn more about communication when you envision that every single person is different because they are different. Are you tired of having a very low understanding of communication skills and you want to build it a little bit more? If so, let's say you want more breakdowns into communication skills. You're in luck. In my free daily newsletter, every single day at 7 p.m. EST, I drop insights like this every day. Thousands of people are joining, leveling up their ability to express themselves. What are you waiting for? For more content like this, check out the link in the description box or the pinned comment right on below and level up your charisma.